What is up, Drewskis? Andrew here from the Power Drew, and 48 hours ago, I was this chipper little happy kid that was skipping down the sidewalk and playing marbles with the boys until I made a rash, uneducated buying decision, and now I have a gray market camera that is being shipped to my house as I film this. Am I worried about it? Heck yeah. And so I kind of did what everybody else would do if they're worried about something, and I Googled the heck out of it. Just like I guess you would if you are pestering WebMD about the weird color changing spot you had. And I found some good news. I found some bad news. I just found some stuff and I want to talk about it. And so let's chat about gray market. But first, I want to show you guys something. Check it out. All right, let's balance this out here. And welcome to my new YouTube studio, or what will become my new YouTube studio. So I've been taking the last couple of weeks to kind of build this space out. It's really cool. There's a lot of stuff going on underneath the hood here. There's things that lower and things that raise, things that roll. Just very maneuverable. And I think that's going to come to an advantage when it, comes to increasing my productivity and just making a better workflow. Other than that, though, I need to ship out a lens to Alpalco Films. I'm letting him borrow a 30mm f1.4, and so let's pack this lens up for Alpalco. By the way, I found the best box to pack this lens in. Check it out. So I have this old router box here, and look at this. Boom! How cool is that? Rad! Anyways, let's check how hot it is real quick. Hang on. Okay. Intermission. All right, that should be quite a bit cooler now. Actually, the beanie needs to go. Hang on. All right, let's do it. All right, we are out and about. Got the package. Let's discuss gray market and what exactly that is. So when you're buying items, even on Amazon, sometimes next to the gear you'll see import model or international model. Well, those things are exactly the same as what a gray market item is. And essentially it's just a item that was purchased or intended for a region that you're not in, that you don't live in, right? So let's say a European model of camera is brought in to the States and sold. That essentially is a gray market item. Now, gray market items don't mean that the item, or let's say camera in this instance, was obtained illegally, and it's not illegal to purchase. It's just highly discouraged by the manufacturers, and there's a reason for that. When a manufacturer, sells their cameras to some dealer, an authorized dealer, they give them some kind of contract that says, hey, this is how much you can sell this item for. And they price lock it. And unless they have some special sell, they can't go underneath that price. And so that's why when you're looking online, you'll see the same price for that gear across the board through all these different authorized dealers. On the flip side to that, so you have unauthorized dealers, and let's say this person picked up all these import cameras. They were able to get these cameras for cheaper in another country, and at the same time maybe not pay the taxes of the country that they're trying to sell the cameras in. So they're getting these cameras for cheaper. They bring them back to the country, let's say US in this example, and they market them, they sell them, and then they're selling them for a cheaper price than what the manufacturers has price locked that camera item in that country. Another issue that you have too is that these gray market cameras sold for cheaper, yes, don't come with a manufacturer's warranty. And the reason for that is that if Canon of USA was servicing all these cameras from all over the world, their overhead is going to be really high, except their sales for that camera is going to be low. So that's why they discourage that a lot, right? They're trying to really get the best, you know what I mean, the best profit they can for their gear. And I get it, but I mean, that's kind of the risk one takes when it comes to buying that gray market. Essentially comes down to not having that warranty. However, when it comes to the item itself, unless a manufacturer has intentionally created multiple versions of that camera, right? I think the Panasonic did, maybe a PAL version and an NTSC version. The camera itself is gonna be exactly the same as a USA version or a Japanese version. They're coming out of the same manufacturer. They're coming out of the same line. They're having the same quality control. The big issue with that though is, you know, are these great cameras fresh off the line? You know what I mean? You might be getting a refurbished or something like that. Now, that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about legit gray market cameras. But looks like we're getting right up to the FedEx here. All right, and that is it. I'm blessed, man. I live like 3 blocks away from the FedEx store here, so if I ever need to mail something out or anything, it's always just a hop, skip, and a jump away. But Alpaca, if you're seeing this, the lens is your way, brother. All right, guys. So you guys got the gist of the whole gray market thing going on, what that means, the chances that you're taking by doing it. You know, I'm gonna give it up to, you know, I'm gonna put it in your court, you know, if it's up to you or not, right? It can be a really good option to get equipment really cheap. At the same time, you know, if you're hard on your equipment or you're gonna need that warranty, that's probably not the way to go for you. But other than that, so 2 days ago, you know, I was looking around, I'm getting a new camera in, super stoked about it, and I found this really good price on this one site that I won't mention yet, and no tax, free shipping. It's about $300 cheaper than anywhere else online. I know it's kind of gray market, and I knew kind of about what gray market is, and so I jump on it. So I do the deal, right? I pay for it. And about 20 minutes later, I get an email saying that I need to call this guy, Michael, to confirm the purchase, right? So I call that guy up. Michael's like, what's up? Call him. And there was a little bait and switch, some shady practices going on. And he was trying to upsell me on some equipment, but let me explain. So for these companies to really milk as much money as they can, because they're really trying to sell this gear at a budget price, they'll have you call them, and when you call them, they're going to first say, oh, you know, this is the international model or the gray market model. You probably meant for the USA model, right? And if you say yes, then you're gonna pay full retail price of whatever that model of a camera that you're buying, in this example. And if you say no, right, you know, they might try to hard press you. They might say, oh, well, camera's back ordered for 3 weeks, or you're gonna have to hold out, or whatever, you know. But for the most part, they'll try that bait and switch, and then they'll try to like upsell you on items that you won't need, you know, trying to prey on the fact that you might not know what you're talking about. In this case, this person did that, and then he was like, do you want the battery? Because this is body only, right? And I'm like, well, what do you mean by battery? And he goes, well, we have the short or long-term battery, right? And I'm like, well, I'll just take the battery that comes in the box, right? and he kind of grumbles, and he's like, oh yeah, comes the battery, that's fine. You know what I mean? Whatever the case is, ships out the camera. So I get this uneasy feeling in my stomach afterwards, and I start researching this camera company or this, you know, merchandise or whatever, and they just have such a bad reputation. But a lot of the reviews are done with people saying, I didn't know it was going to be gray marketed or whatever. That information is in their policy if you read it. So shady, yeah, but I think technically legal because they're putting everything in there. Get my one wheel. And so at the end of the day, you know, everything looks legit. Invoices look good. I ended up getting the warranty on it, so I have an accidental warranty for 3 years. I Googled that company, and you can buy the same warranty at Walmart through the same company. So I don't know. I'm really nervous on what's gonna appear at my door, but we're gonna see here in about 4 days, so it should be interesting. Anyways, guys, this is part 1 of this saga. Part 2 is when the FedEx guy comes and delivers the camera, so that should be interesting. Other than that, guys, tell me what you guys think. Do you guys buy gray market? Do you have an import or international camera or lenses that you're using? If so, how do they work for you? Would you buy gray market again? Did you have a bad experience with gray market? I want to know. Throw it down in the comments below. Other than that, guys, you know I respect you and I appreciate you. Thanks for everything. Like and subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace. Look out for part 2.